All gas, we don't touch brakes. All gas, we don't touch brakes.
What's up, y'all? And welcome to the No Brakes All Gas podcast. And I am your host, King Blue Star Seed. On this podcast, we focus on the peculiar and strange within the industry and around the world. With that being said, I'm not gonna hold you. Let's jump right into it. But before we start, all I ask is that you hit that like button so my message can reach the algorithm. Now, some of you may not believe this, but, well, I love to say that I told you so. So, I told you so. Today's peculiar and strange story is about none other than Sean Corey Carter, also known as Hove, or the God MC. Ladies and gentlemen, the chickens have finally come home to roost, and it is high time to pay the piper. Oh, don't look so sad. You and your demonic friends have been twisting and turning the music industry the way you see fit for decades now. Hey Hove, it was all good just a week ago. It's too bad that you could never change. But it's only so long fake thugs can pretend. Now I hear that you're losing your wife.
Oh, man.
And 75% of your wealth? What can I say? I guess it is a hard knock life.
Hey, that's funny, boss.
Cue the tape.
It looks like things are heating up in the Carter household because word on the streets is that Beyonce and Jay-Z are finito. They are headed for divorce. Can you even imagine? The streets are saying that things have been tense between them for a hot minute, and they have been separate for a while, but they've chosen to keep it private and keep up the appearance of a healthy marriage. But it looks like Beauty might be making some heavy moves to protect herself because word on the streets is that Jay-Z is allegedly being lined up by the Hollywood elites to get exposed like his bestie Diddy.
You don't find that suspicious?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, Brother Love Puff Diddy Dog himself. It's not a secret to anyone in the streets that you and Sean Combs have been lining up people that you fear for years. But some will find it peculiar that you, Sean Carter, had anything to do with what I'm about to share.
But boss, we know about Tupac. What else did they do?
Let's just say it's gonna be some things you're gonna see is gonna make it hard to smile in the future.
Let me just say on behalf of the city of Los Angeles, this is the biggest grand opening of any business anywhere in Southern California today. So now as this rabbit hole gets deeper and deeper, we start to see who the key players are in keeping the most impoverished black people at the bottom, reaching for their goal at the top. The Tupac scam clearly did not work, but the Nipsey scam definitely has a 100 or 300% return on their investment. In this picture right here, you have Nipsey Hussle with Idris Sandu, the gentleman in the black shirt, all black shirt, that actually helped him to get the geofencing technology available and put into the products that he had at the Marathon clothing store. Now, it's my thoughts that Nipsey actually brokered this deal with Idris Sandu all on his own. And when Jay-Z and Rock Nation, everybody found out about the geofencing technology, they wanted to silence and keep Nipsey from being able to go forward with this idea for years to come. So they invested in his Marathon clothing store, helped him to relaunch the clothing store, which is exactly what you're going to see in this video. It wasn't a launch, it was a relaunch. The clothing store already existed right there at that corner lot. And so the scam began. Nipsey, wanting to have a better life, wanted to go ahead and get his business to the next level. He had always talked about the shootings in the parking lots and the poverty. Thought that this would be a great idea to partner with Rock Nation and Jay-Z and all these cronies, when really in the end, all they wanted to do was steal his ideas.
This was always one of our dreams, was to be able to like come inside in this parking lot. We was always outside hustling in the actual lot. And we just kind of just being here for so long, realized that it makes sense to be owners or, have businesses in this parking lot. It was an important intersection with a lot of commerce going on, and it made sense, like, if we can actually get in here, we'll be able to really elevate what we're trying to do. You saw what's going on Fairfax, what's going on Melrose and Soho and in Japan with their boutiques and just with the shopping experience in the stores and how it adds value to the actual brand. And so we wanted to do something like that in our own space, though.
This is not about the corner lot. It's not about the clothing. It was actually about the geofencing of the technology that Nipsey was getting a hold of with Idris Sandu and being able to actually corner the market on being able to sell your mixtapes or your albums through your clothing brand and through other avenues that didn't entail your titles, your revolts. And he was coming into direct competition against Jay-Z and P. Diddy when it came to the record label and the streaming services that they pretty much wanted to be a conglomerate in.
And they wasn't trying to have that.
You don't find that suspicious?
Yes, Dr. Umar, I find that very suspicious. Not only that, now I know exactly why everyone is running for the hills from these guys. As they should. They're not very good company. I always said whoever had anything to do with the murder of Nipsey Hussle will be brought to light. Now listen as Nipsey speaks from the spirit world.
Nipsey Hussle was a rapper that came up from South Central and basically made it big in the rap community. Although I'll be honest again, I never heard about him. So it must have been something that, it wasn't like a Tupac thing for me where I knew who Tupac was. I did not know who this man was or much about him. So he was elevated really quickly and then his passing happened just as quickly.
But he was elevated quickly and then he passed quickly. He was raised up quickly and he was out of here quick. But Revolt TV and Rock Nation come along and now make Marathon clothing bigger. So now Nipsey Hussle brand becomes bigger.
But when I'm hearing the information around him, he's kind of showing me how he was dropped into this life that he did. And there was a lot of discord at the end of his life. And I'm not talking with the idiot that murdered him. I'm talking about with family members. There was a rift with his family. So when you see the footage of his family, and I'm sure they're deeply saddened, I don't mean it quite like that, but he's showing me that there was a rift and that he wasn't seeing things clearly. And sometimes you're born into a pack of people that aren't all your people. This is a close-knit, like family member, female, and I'm not saying his girlfriend does not feel like his girlfriend. Put a knife in his back is what he's saying to me. Now, obviously, the person who murdered him is responsible. That's the person who... So he was kind of expecting this to happen. He just didn't think it would happen when it happened. Now, what he is showing me is you've got to be careful. I have so much to tell you is what I'm hearing in my head, as if I'm him, not me. He has so much to say. He has so much to say about what he did and what he realizes and what he thought and where he got himself into before he could get himself out and the backstabbers around him. There were several different things going on. His name was being used and is still being used to elevate a cause in order for other people to gain money. And I'm not talking about his music.
Hear that?
Like, all gas, we don't touch brakes. All gas, we don't touch brakes.